knows the student. Anybody knows the student? This is knowledge. Even knowledge with the education system. With education system. Who's the most knowledgeable? Who's the best scientist you know? That's not within quote knowledge, that's real knowledge. That's not education with Euroscience, that's real education. But the dogma education with the science with this science, people will say either Einstein or Newton. Isn't it true? All physicists say it's Einstein. So imagine even that. Anybody heard of Einstein's students? So you can easily assume that Einstein was way up there, according to them. Anybody knows Einstein's students? Any student? Anybody knows Newton's student? Anybody knows Abu Hanifa's student? You know, right? Abu Yusuf. That's real education. But we're talking about education with Euroscience. Einstein's student would, by definition, would know less. His student. His student would be even less, and less, and less, and less. Even according to them, this is time. First generation of his student, second generation. What is it called in Arabic? Sahaba? Tabi, right? That's the education system, that's the process. Second generation, third generation, it's going negative. Now we have a shepherd in Somalia. According to them, he's ignorant, right? Say, imagine here. If he manages to teach his student more than him, if they are more capable than him, using this principle, then it will be like this. They will overpass in even education with dollars, with euro sign. They will overtake, Somalian Shepherd will overtake Einstein. That's the technique Prophet used. Prophet's education tool. Your student should know more. And it's very easy. I try to implement that. I certainly have more papers than my professors. And I tell my students they should have more papers than me, but once they become rich, they stop. I have literally, every student of mine is like 10 times richer than I am. Now it's probably 100 times. And that's where they stop. What happened? Shaitan recruits them. And they're gone. So, keep in mind, this is the model we're using. So how do you do that? By saying something that is better than before. So with that, this is the first two. And I'll give an example how to deconstruct. I remember we're not finished. I'll take
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Just I will
Okay.
proceed.
So do you see that? What I mean by improving? So first thing I said, what are the assumptions? Remember? Number two, I said, what did they say? Number two, what did they assume? So you take this example, classic example. Everybody will have his own. Newton's law. Anybody knows what that law is?
Yes.
Gravitational. Can you imagine? Can you tell me what is the assumption?
Gravitational constant.
Gravitational is constant. G is constant, right? G is constant, right?
Yes.
First thing, because there is equal sign. It's not proportional, but you are assuming G is constant. If it is proportional, there will be something G can vary. Proportionately, F will vary. No, it's a constant that has no other function. Right? It's not functional. Then those guys will tell you the gravity goes to infinity. Black hole. What is the gravity of black hole? Is it valid? And mashallah, Muslims will go say, Subhanallah, they are saying gravity goes up. Allah said the same thing. Prophet said that on the day of judgment, his gravitational force will be the greatest. Is it true or false? See, that's what happened to Muslims. They do everything to justify these guys are right. And Quran is saying the same thing. Have you not heard that? Subhanallah. Gravity on the day of judgment, Quran says the gravity will be much bigger. Completely false. That has nothing to do with it. But to begin with, this illogicality you have to see yourself. That why is it constant? If it's constant, why are you saying that it varies? It's completely false. It's not logical. From deductive logic, we know nothing is constant. Except our near. Right? Is mass constant? At any time, can you find a mass that's constant? No. See this one. Right here. So what did happen? Right away, it lost some of the so-called atomic and subatomic material. Everything is in motion, right? What does it mean? It's going away. So everything is in a state of flux. How do you know? From deductive logic. There's nothing in creation that's like Allah. And Allah is the only constant. Again, from Surah Ikhlas. Allah Samad. You cannot touch Allah. Every object is in a state of flux. So this is false. This is a wild matter of definition. Even matter of distribution, the moment you say it's a theory, it's a law, don't they say gravitational law? What does law mean? Does law change? It's absurd. You cannot have law changing, otherwise you do not call it law. I call it law. Only law that's real law is Allah's law. That's Sharia. It's inevitable. So you have to be able to see that. So now distance, what is that? Distance, you see, point, distance between two objects. How do you measure? What is the actual distance? According to them, is the distance where, so you ask them, you have two objects. What is the actual distance between the two? From inside, center of gravity, right? That is possible. What is the center of gravity? Already we know that this is a false thing. It's absurd. As a matter of fact, they will write papers showing that distance itself, they will themselves they say that D is subjective. Distance between two objects is subjective. And there is a paper, it's a fractal paper, I can get the name, fractal paper that talks about what is the distance of, what is the length of Thames River, something like that. And it shows Why is it subjective? The distance this is the scale. If you are measuring with, say, 1 millimeter cable, it will be very high because you are measuring all the surfaces, right? All the up and down of surfaces. If it is aerial, this is long. This is aerial distance from satellite, and this is distance measured with small scale. And it actually goes, it's not correct, it actually goes like this. Because if, at the end, if you have very tiny scale, it's infinity. So you have to be able to question everything. So that one, programmability, the most accepted law. And that's why I did that as an example. And you'll find out it's the same. This is gravitational theory. This is, anybody knows what it is? Coulomb's law. Right? Same thing. Everything's the same. Shaitan copy each other. Shaitan is not very creative. Shaitan is a liar, but not very creative at all. He is the same lie for everything. And that lie, remember what he said in 4:119. Was that a lie? He said, I promise I will, he said, I will mislead. I'll implant desire. Did he say inshallah?
Yeah.
He didn't say inshallah. That's a lie.
No.
You have no ability to do anything. So, started with the lie. So everything he says is a lie. And he uses the same technique for everything. These are lies. To call them lie, the law is a lie. Every assumption they made is a lie. But what is the term kufr? You know what kufr means? Hiding. That the assumption is hidden. Some of you have mathematics degree, physics degree, engineering degree. Have you ever heard this analysis that you ask the question about assumption? No, we never heard that. Engineers love straight line. Never ask, what is a straight line, man? It doesn't exist. You have to be able to question. We have been trained not to question anything. Yet Prophet Muhammad himself said, questioning is the cure to ignorance. Yes.
I got questions. My question is that if their assumptions are wrong at all, we say that mass is not constant.
Yes.
It's losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the way it's discussed in physics, they call it these things negligible.
Yes. Yes.
So my question is, if they are not correct in the way they have been proceeding,
Yeah.
so how do, why they are successful in achieving their objectives and goals, even those are bad and objectives and goals, like harmful for environment as well as killing
Yeah, I know.
people.
They produce things that work, right?
Yeah.
That functions.
That's my point.
This is the thing. It's classic, and I have thought about it. It's very, very interesting. Today, all the engineers, civil engineers, they use which law? Do anybody knows? It's Newton's laws.
Yeah, Newton laws.
Yeah? They decide. They use Newton's law. You ask them, what does Taj Mahal built on? What does pyramid built on? They both work. Isn't it true? Did they have Newton's law? Anybody has better building the Taj Mahal. Anybody has better building than pyramid? None. That's what we call sustainable. Whatever the law they used was sustainable. Whatever the law they used, they're lying to you. You say it works, it doesn't work. It's a matter of time. It's not there only after any civil engineers here. After they decide that the building width should be, say, 10 centimeter, right? With the strength of material calculation, everything calculation, it should be 10 centimeter. You know what is the coefficient they add? Minimum 1.5. So that's like saying, Macron speaks French, therefore your first assumptions are correct. It works because they have added that. So instead of 10 centimeter, they will add 15 centimeter, minimum. Of course it works. You don't need Newton's law for it. You ask a monkey, you ask a agriculture guy, you ask a old grandfather who used to build houses. They will tell you that this is the minimum, man, it's common sense. So that's how they treat. Remember the pyramid, Taj Mahal, they are not based on Newton's law. Remember what Samud had, rock cutting technology, we still don't have it. Pharaoh had mummies technology, we still don't have it. So every technology ours is inferior to what they have. So no credit goes to Newton. Actually, discredit goes to Newton because by believing him, we created this facade. I sent the picture to him on the WhatsApp page. It's all facade because they are based on falsehood. And the beauty of facade is it looks good. Isn't that Allah said that it's in Surah Baqarah? We made dunya for kafirs very pleasing. We decorated dunya for them. And they actually mock Muslims, Mu'mins. But on hereafter, they will be superior. The one who has taqwa will be superior. So everything about life and all the results, they don't want you to discuss this. This is hidden. That's what Shaitan does very well. Kufr, hiding. Yes.
As you mentioned, I thought that deer, like Pharaoh, Samud, now Newton and Einstein, their knowledge is periodic. And they work in a periodic of time, huh?
Yes.
But we will try to talk about sustainability,
Yeah.
but they are also work on sustainability. Sustainable energy is an example of them. They are working to use plant energy, plants.
Oh yeah. We will discuss that. Everything they propose, for instance, the biggest example is plastic. What did they come up with? Bioplastic.
Biomass.
No,
is what-
bioplastic. They make plastic out of biological material. Biodegradable. It's called bioplastic, right? According to them, bioplastic produces more toxin than the natural plastic. According to them. That's why I said, search bad guys. Find out contradiction. But don't stop. You find out. So everything, literally, everything they have promised, everything, remember what I talked about natural gas? Everything they have promised is a lie. It's exactly opposite. So, according to their studies, they will tell you. But When they're caught, this is the model. Remember, when they're caught, decision, disinformation, then opacity, and then justification. We come to that. This is Shaitan's model. Shaitan decided. This Shaitan decided that I'm going to sell this product. Right? When they're caught, so what did he do? So, oh, we can justify. We have a better one. Sugar to saccharin to aspartame. Right? So they are always trying to sell something worse and asking for more money. Profit goes up. Remember that? Profit. And this is the honey. Sugar, saccharin, aspartame. They were most profit. And now they are trying to sell you even more toxic. So by following there, you are not going to go improve anything. So you have to go back to honey. The first slide I showed today, you have to go back to honey in every way. So what I want you to do, and from now on, I'll give you a deadline. Every week we'll have something, and today's task is to have number 1, title. Number 2, objective, long-term, short-term. Number 3,
Sorry, yeah.
produce it by Saturday, the report. Number 1, this one, this one. Number 1, title. Number 2, objectives. Short term, long term. Literature. List of titles, you can have as many as 10, 20, or doesn't matter. As many as possible. And 5 selected papers. So I will need the title of those and which journal. So full reference. These 3 by Saturday. That will be your first report. I'm not yet asking this full, otherwise it will be finished. But start thinking, These 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That report, Saturday. I'll be with you. If you don't have a title, see me immediately. Send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll give you a project.
Just share your background itself, qualification background. You will be giving a talk.
What's that?
So if somebody don't have a project,
Yes.
so just share your qualification background of the.
Or it doesn't matter.
Qualification, background,
No. Tell me your passion. You might not have a degree, or doesn't matter. Tell me your passion. I want to do this, but I don't know what to put as a project. Okay? Because if you do not have one, that means the company or the organization did not give you a specific task. So I'll give you, and inshallah that will be the best.
Inshallah.
So be aware I consider you like PhD students.
Okay, sir.
So if you are clean, meaning you don't have a project in mind, I will give you the toughest project and you will be the most successful. Why? Inshallah. Why? Because when your mind is not biased already, for instance, somebody has a project that I'll develop drone, right? It's biased already. You assume the drone is the best thing to do. If you say, I do not have, but I have passion for flying objects, that's better. See? So you're not limited. Even bad guys admit that. The moment you put a limit to a dream, you are limited. You cannot grow much. Any question?
Thank you so much.
Sir, shall I stop it?